Hey guys, today I'm going to do a recap video on my day trades today. I get the notes from awesomecallstrading.com, ACT, at AJTrader7 on Twitter. That's where I get the notes from. AJ comes on at 8 a.m., 30 minutes before open, writes these notes out from 8 to 8:15. 8:15, the notes are out. I start drawing these lines, and he gives you a recap before it happens. So I really didn't want to make this video today, to be honest, because took a major loss, but Sean insists that I do and show the other side of the fence that, you know, not a lot of people talk about, and I really didn't honestly feel like talking about, but here we are.
Full transparency is what we do.
Yeah, so, you know, Sean wants to be fully transparent, so here I am being transparent. So I'm going to show you, even though I have these amazing notes, AJ had amazing plays. You can still mess it up, and this is a day where I did big time, so I'm gonna go over it. First trade I did, which was an amazing play by AJ, but the play was downside. You know, like, you should have played puts on this, and I bought calls. Like, I did buy puts, but I got shaken out, only made $100, and where I lost big money was, took a $4,900 loss on these calls, you know. So I, you know, look what happens. You know, this was clearly downside move. You know, had I not sold those puts, I would have made more than the 4,900, but I sold it early. So my mistake in this was hedging and buying the opposite direction, which was like, I was supposed to do that, but I should have held it for this big move instead of scalping $100 when I just took a $4,900 loss. So, like, really just completely played that wrong. But, you know, his notes say stock gapping up 30 points. Do not long unless pop at the open to 578. Then look for quick 7 to 12 point push to the upside on short squeeze like PA and W yesterday. If this snaps at the open 570, look for a nice 10 to 12 point sell off on it. Then bottom curl bounce on it. Should be fun. So this was like literally just was puts, and you would have made, like, I entered these puts basically whenever I knew it was going south, I immediately bought the puts. I didn't mark it here because I only made $100, but basically I bought in at $910 for each one of those puts, entering 570 puts right here, and like right now they're like $1,500 each. So that, like, even if I wouldn't have sold it, I could have just held it. They'd right now still worth 5,000 profit. It would cost 6,000 profit. It would be 15,000 to 9,000 from 9,000. So you could have made 6,000 profit just holding it all day, you know. But I lost. Look what happened with the calls today. See how empty it is? I entered early, I didn't wait for confirmation, and I got burned. So this is what happens if you don't wait for confirmation and it's an empty wick like this. Like, no one's going to take your contracts. And I tried to hold it for 14 minutes longest as I could. But I mean, if it's breaking his line to go downside, that's where I'm going to cut it, you know. So learn from my mistake. Either cut it early and have a good mental stop loss. Yeah, no, that's actually what you need to do. Just cut it early, and before you dig yourself into this massive ditch like I did. So amazing play by AJ, but I completely played it wrong and I got burned. So moving on. My next trade was Dick's Sporting Goods. I made money on this, so it went well. Stock gapping up 17 points. Do not long unless pop at the open to 132. Then look for a nice 5 to 8 point push more to the upside. Then watch for topping if this snaps 126. Look for quick 3 to 5 points to the downside. Then watch for bottom curl bounce on it. Which one's mine? This one? So for this play, like, you know, it broke his upside line, and it never reached his first price target, but I got a good entry on it, you know. Like, Dick's like wasn't really you know, didn't have as much range as planned. Like, this first red line right here is his first price target, you know, and it didn't really have as much range as planned. But I bought in at 834.7 at 834 right here, right where it broke his line. You know, and look, I just made money on this one giant push, you know. Right here, I bought in at 834, you know. 1 minute trade, boom. Like, this is from 132 to 134. So 2 points, you know, 0.5 delta on those at the money and the money contracts. Every 2 points is $1,000. So it went up 2 points in 1 minute. I scalped $600 within that minute, you know. So that play worked out. It was only, you know, 40 something seconds. So that worked out for me. And if you didn't sell it quick though, you know, I don't know how well that would have went for you. So that was one that I played. AJ was playing like RGC a lot today, and that he killed it, but I didn't play that. It was shares and equity. So really good call for RGC on AJ today. Moving on, GameStop. I'm going to go over Tesla last because Sean's going to talk about that. But GameStop, I didn't necessarily play. I didn't necessarily enter the upside at 208. I played kind of like the Mark Moses, you know, bottom curl. I entered at 853 right here. I see this happen, these 3 green candles, you know, and it goes back down. Luckily, I didn't get shaken out right here, and I made money on this big push, you know. So, and just beware if you're on TD, Think or Swim, they don't let you do market buy. So I had to do a limit buy right here at 1350, and at 853, I bought it 859.28. 859.28. I sold it. For 1550, you know. So 1350, 1550, I made 1806 is what ended up clearing, and so that happened in 6 minutes. So that was good, you know. But I made 600 on Dick's Sporting Goods. I made 1800. Yeah, it sounds great, but I lost 4900 on Intuit. You know, so I was already like, obviously like, ugh, you know. GameStop meme stocks will play today. Do not long unless pop the open to 208. Clear, then look for nice 5 to 7 point push to the upside. If this snaps 202 at the open, look for nice 5 to 7 point flush down. Then watch your bottom curl bounce if it comes. So yeah, GameStop, you know, look, you could have played from his notes the upside move, you know, right here, 215. It hit he said it was going to 215. It hit 227, you know, and you could have entered calls or just played the upside from 208. You could have got 20 points from that if you rode that out, you know. I played the bottom curl when it wasn't even ready to enter upside, but I saw the curl coming. You would have entered puts at 202, and look, he said it was going to go to 195, and it did. You know, it hit 192. So for GameStop, his notes really applied for downside and upside. So you could have made money. There was range on both sides, more on the upside though. But I was able to make 1800 from that, 600 from the other play. So I made 2400, but then I took a $4,900 loss on Intuit. I'm not going to go over AMC, but I made $100 on that too. I just scalped it, didn't even get any little bit of the move. And then Tesla is the last one I'm going to go over, which like really destroyed me today. Like, really wish I would have played it yesterday and not today. So anyways, it says stock gapping flat, do not long unless pop at the open to 708.50, then look for nice quick push 4 to 6 points to the upside, then watch for topping. If this snaps at the open 705, look for a nice 9 to 11 points sell off on it, then watch for bottom curl bounce on it. So, you know, obviously I thought this was going to sell off. I thought the market sentiment was going to be, you know, a small pop at the open and then a downside move, and you know, I thought wrong and I played heavy. So I paid for it today, unfortunately. And so what I did was you know, I just entered early. If you look at the print right here, like it never printed anything below this downside line. Like I bought in at 832, you know. So right here I bought in because it broke his line, but it, you know, it didn't print anything below this line. Like this one actually printed below his line when it opened up. So like, you know, I'm always entering when that happens. And look what happens. It started right here, but it, by the time it ended, it was already above it and was already going upside. Huh? Yeah, Sean said it's a bullpen, something I didn't catch on to at the time. And so obviously I'm seeing it curl up right here and I'm still in it. And look, to be honest, I'm going to be honest, like I thought this was going to come back down. I thought it was going to, so I started averaging down. I was going to practice my scale out. That was my plan, you know. So I bought 10 at 832 right here. Well, like plan, just trying to play his notes. But look, and look, before I say what I'm going to do, just cut it. Just whenever you see it go extremely south, like cut it in this range still. Like I wish I would have cut it. I talked to my friend who played one contract, did the same thing as me, entered exactly when I entered, and you know what he did? He cut it right away and he entered the opposite direction, which I did play calls and I made $1,000 back, which I didn't even go over. I scaled out and played it perfectly. But yeah, I ended up losing $9,000 because I scaled in and bought 30. You know, I bought 10 right here at 850. What happens at 850? Look, so it's going up and I'm just watching it go more and more negative. But look, this is why I bought it at 850. Look, right here, I bought it right here, right? I'm seeing a clear downtrend. So I was waiting for like a clear direction. So if you're wondering, well, why'd you randomly... So that's why I did it. I mean, obviously, it was a bad idea. I bought 10 more right here. And so it's going and going. Like 925, I buy in again because look what it does. Look, it tops out right here. And then at 925, I'm like, oh, that was the top of AJ's line. Let me average down one more time and try to get the top and average down nicely, which it did drop my average. You know, my first time I bought it, it was at like 900 something, almost 1,000 per contract. You know, by the time I bought it this last time, they were only $400 something a contract, you know? So I averaged down right here and I dropped my average to 660. So that's what my average was, and I ended up selling it to 450, I think, you know, 453. So whenever I sold all of them, you know, 3 hours later, and look, this is why I sold it, which if you look at how the day is ending, or how it ended, like look at this. See how it fell all the way down? Like obviously if I sold it right here, I could have captured a slightly higher price, but look, this is why I sold it. I saw that the high was at this point in time, it was around 715 right here. You know, it hit the 712 mark. Okay, I'm coming. Look, and then look, this is when I sold it. You know? So, yeah, basically I sold it right here at a loss because I thought it was going to keep skyrocketing, but it actually ended up going down. I still have been really negative, but that's basically what happened.
The moral of the story is we all take losses.
Look, Sean, you need to get closer to the mic. Just talk for a second.
I got shit to do. So, anyway, the moral of the story is we all take losses because we play heavy. I didn't take a loss today. Every trade I took was green. Oh, I lied. I did AMC yanked on me one time, and I was heavy with about 15 contracts. But other than that, I cut it, and I made enough money on AMC for the day already. This Tesla trade, though, I play algorithms. So once I pick up on the time frame of the algorithms, and they do rotate multiple times throughout the day, I play them. So I missed this opening rip on Tesla, so I took it short right here. I forgot where I sold it, somewhere down here. I don't know. I just use Dark Side's fib retracement. Shout out to Dark Side. If you know, you can only get the program if you use this class. Here I entered calls, took it up to 710 calls, I believe. Right here at the bottom, like we say, we want to catch the options chain off guard. So literally, I'm entering calls on this downswing into this line. That's just a previous line from another day, or maybe this was just calls. I don't know. I'm not going over the notes right now because I'm in a hurry. Sorry,
the
AJ.
green line is where I would have been.
So see, this is where the line was to enter calls, but this is how you catch the options chain off guard. If AJ's not an options player, you have to remember that. So once I see it test this a couple times here, I took entry on this candle right here on the downswing. Literally market order on the downswing, got a grade fill, rode it all the way back up to here. Immediately switched again to puts, rode it down to here. I don't think I made it all the way down. I think after this candle right here, because it was back at this line, which is another hardcore support level, I got out of it. Pretty much waited again until I let this grind out until right here. As soon as I saw that candle hit that same line again, I went long with 7/15s. Right here, I peeled one off. Just going off fib retracement from dark size class. So right there is where I peeled off my first contract. I knew they were just trying to shake me out right here, so I kind of wrote it out, just riding the fib retracements, and sold my second contract right here. Again, I went long right here, all the way up to 7.7, probably right here. I probably got out right here, market sell. Peeled off my first contract, which I should have just peeled off all of them, because then I got this little triple top action working right here, and I stayed in it. I should have taken it right here on the third one when it didn't last, but I stayed in until about right here. As soon as I saw this candle, I knew that was just confirmation for me on a 1 minute chart of the tank. Even though it's showing a curl, it's just a fake out. These are classic. They accumulate, try to break out, accumulate, try to break out, pop, pull, pop, pull, pop, huge pull. That's what this out goes. After that, I was pretty much done with this trade. Yeah, I was out. So anyway, AMC, yeah, I was heavy on AMC, but I took a loss.
What clicker?
I was heavy on AMC, where? Down here. So right here, I took AMC long, got out right here on my first scalp. I left it alone until I saw it building strength right here when it bounced off of VWAP. This is just a classic pattern. You get the little curl, the bounce, and then boom. And I held it too long. I just held it too long. I pulled one or two off, but then I held. And then I held all the way to right here because I had such a good entry right here. And that's something that I'm willing to risk, you know, like you know. So anyway, this candle right here, because I was so heavy, just absolutely murdered me with the IV. So anyway, I'm already late. AJ, shout out for the notes this morning. They're awesome as always. You know, Dark Side, you know, the shit with this fucking program, dude. And all the ACT family, man, y'all are all awesome. Everybody over there. So y'all have a good day. Later. Okay, for sure.
Okay, guys, yeah, that's it. So yeah, I had a horrible day. Even though I had a few wins because of AJ's notes. You know, it's not his fault, just to reiterate that. His notes were amazing. I played it wrong. I should have cut those immediately and just play, you know, I tried to force it, I guess, you know, and I should have cut them and switched direction and rode out that upside, you know, trend. So that was my day trades of the day. I ended up, you know, even though I made 1,800 on GameStop, 600 on Dick's Sporting Goods, made 100 on those Intuit calls, I made 100 on AMC. I'm taking a 10K loss for the day. It hurts, you know. You're wondering, oh, how does he win so much? Oh, well, I don't win every day. And Sean wanted me to show you all that, to show you that I'm human. I make mistakes. So does he occasionally. Not as much as me, but he makes them. And I'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully I can recoup some of these losses. Hope y'all traded better than me today.
We'll recoup all of those losses tomorrow.
Okay, Sean has faith.
Negativity over here.
Yep. So I hope the ACT family did good today. His notes were fire. RGC was amazing. Wish I knew how to play shares and equities. I definitely would have played that. But yeah, guys, y'all have a good one. Let me know what you think.